Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Meeple has landed.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Vitruvian Meeple's production of Echoes of the Undying. I am your host, Trevor, the Vitruvian Meeple, here as always with Matt, Julie, Ray, Patrick, and ECAT. We are here to play some Cypher System Fantasy. For those of you that have been, that may be just tuning in, welcome. For those of you that have been here for a while, welcome back. We are now on episode 6 of this story, and I think we're going to dive right in. So last time, our heroes had gotten themselves a job as caravan guards for a caravan that was making its way to the fabled, glorious city of Kash, city of carnelian and brass. They met up with some undead wolves, dispatched them, I can't even say handily, and then spent the rest of the journey in conversation and contemplation, and in one case having a nice long conversation and some tea with their goddess. They originally found themselves bound for Kash in order to try to procure some parts for Takeedle to be able to fix the Whirlithopter, as it has come to be known, that encountered him in the town of Riverhead. And so here we are. We are just now joining our heroes as they finish their negotiations with the caravan master, and are now free to move about in the majestic city of Kash. So let's start with Howard. So first of all, what does Howard think of Kash? This is a city probably at least 3 to 4 times as big as Drakeburg was. And it's just it's very bright, it's very loud, everything's very shiny. And there's just the hustle and bustle is just endless. Every step that someone takes, there's some sand kicked up into your face, and if you're not lucky, then into your beak. And especially with you being, a bit shorter than humans, you are all the more susceptible to this. So what is Howard thinking? What is he interested in doing at this point?
Well, he's trying to ignore just the press and bustle of everything. It's hot, it's loud, sand's getting everywhere, and people keep on mispronouncing his name. There's this godlike voice that's just, who's this Howard guy? So he's going to try and get off the main drag, as it were, and go someplace cooler. Maybe a drinking establishment. And like he does when he gets to large settlements, he is, putting out feelers to see if there's any word of somebody from his past, a certain Uther the Sly.
Okay.
That
What about Seraphina?
Before I head off to there where the libraries and what have you are, like, ask everybody. So since we're gonna be here for at least a couple of days, should we find an inn to stay in? I'm assuming, Zahar, that your family probably doesn't want us crashing on their couch.
My family is nowhere near here. We are several leagues north into the deep desert.
Oh, okay.
and I think they're called divans here. I'm not sure.
But yes, I can direct us to an establishment you are looking for.
Thank you.
Tequila. How quickly do you run off, and do you run off from the rest of the group, entranced by all the various things and unlimited potential for haggling? You love it.
Tequil's eyes are just about as wide as his mustache right now. He has missed this environment. He understands, like, this is where all of his skill sets come together and work towards the same goal to feed his ADHD riddled little brain. And all he would need is just like one little trigger in order to just go off on his own. But having been with the group for so long, he's managing to keep it under wraps, but he is taking notes, he is looking where things are, and he is excited to get back into his element.
Okay. What about Zell?
So Zealous kind of mixed feelings right now. On the one hand, he's a little paranoid. Last time he was in a very big city, things went very south very quickly, and he barely made it out. But on the other hand, there are people absolutely everywhere. And people are fun to watch, manipulate, have fun with. And so he's immediately kind of wandering off towards Zara to see what's going on and figure out if there's anything interesting he can learn, or people he can get things out of without having to pay for, all sorts of fun stuff.
All right. Speaking of which, last but not least, what's Zahar up to?
She is absolutely happy to be home, to hear her native language just everywhere, the smells, the colors, the excitement of just being in the desert again. She is eventually going to start looking for this Udre that Arashki said to go find that particular speaker. But right now she's watching because she knows, especially Zell, many of her people are not going to be happy to see him. And in fact, she turns to him and says, "You may want to hide your face while you are here."
All right. And as these various little conversationlets and such are happening, the rest of you do see that Howard is making his way off towards one of the I wouldn't say many, but several taverns and other drinking establishments that are here near the entrance to the city. There are also a number of places that offer lodging. Very few, however, offer both, which is not something that I think the rest of you are probably used to. Zahar, this is you don't eat cookies in bed. These are those are two very, very different objectives, two very different mindsets, and one must be in the correct mindset for each.
Mm-hmm. I trust that Heward will know where he's going because we've been through here before.
Okay. So you find yourselves under an inn sign that looks like it has the inn sign is just a picture of what looks to everyone like a desert oasis. There is no writing or anything on it other than that, but it is open. It is not deserted by any stretch of the imagination. I'd say it's probably about a quarter full. It is after breakfast time, but before lunchtime, so most people are not in an establishment such as this. They are out conducting whatever business has them in Kash. Howard, you said you wanted to do some plant some feelers to see if you can find anything about was it Uther or Urter? I thought it was Urter.
Urter, sorry.
That's right. Yeah, so we're gonna start this off. You know what? We're just gonna go right for it. We're gonna start off with an intrusion.
Okie dokie.
Ground running.
All right. Who shared the last intrusion with me last time? Do we remember?
I am, however, seeing that Seraphina is very low on XP.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Cool.
we'll do that.
So when you guys first walk in, I mean, obviously there is some curiosity from the current patrons. You're actually going through 2 layers of curtain. The outside layer is a beaded curtain. The inside layer is something sheer, a shade of beige that almost matches sand, but not quite. And as you enter, the patrons look up, and every one of them kind of locks in on you, and their eyes go a little bit wide. Some are better at hiding it than others, and they are all of a sudden very interested in their drinks.
Do I have something on my bill? Nope, not that. Puff out his feathers a little bit.
Okay.
Bunch of sand just rains down.
So you notice actually that the bartender sees this, kind of waves his hand a little bit, and a tiny little dust devil kind of spins up out of nowhere, picks up the sand and whisks it outside.
Nice trick. Sorry for the mess.
Certainly not the first time, certainly not the last.
Not with the amount of sand that's around here, no.
What can we do for you?
Pulls out a silver coin and have something to drink.
Of course. Do you wish to be refreshed or distracted?
Refreshed.
And he brings out a drink that is clear. It smells of mint and cucumber and you take a drink, and there's just enough sweetness to kind of bring out those flavors, not enough to make it cloying. It is, as he promised, very refreshing. And in fact, he for an Argentum, is it you? One Argentum will cover 2 if you wish. And he kind of looks up at your compatriots.
I
That-
haven't logged in yet.
Okay, then
That-
your 3 compatriots.
That certainly cuts the dust. Thank you.
And so
I would
he,
happily try the other one. I'm very curious.
yep, he brings the second one, puts it on the table, and kind of looks expectantly at Tequila and Zell. Zell, please make me some kind of intellect roll dealing with, with sensing motives or things like that, and we're going to make it a difficulty 3.
Oh, look, sense motive.
If you also have like pleasant, I think you have all pleasant social interactions or something.
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Then you can apply both of those, and if your sense motive doesn't already say specialized, then in the roll dialogue you can change it to specialized for this roll.
Alrighty.
Okay. He is completely nonplussed by your appearance, by your ancestry. You don't know if it's just because he's a tavern keeper in Kash and has therefore presumably seen it all, or if perhaps Zahar's opinion of your reception may have been a little bit out of date.
Well, that's delightful to hear.
He actually looks over at Zell and Tequila, the two of you, and say, "The same for you, my friends?"
Certainly, that looks delightful.
Thank you. That
Oh,
would be...
yeah, sure.
I pull in Argentum and slide it under the table.
Okay. It is, in fact, very, very refreshing. As I said, just enough sweetener to make it very flavorful and very enjoyable. Not enough to cut into the fact that it does do a phenomenal job of slaking your thirst. And it's one of those where you would happily keep drinking them, but it's not one of those things where you finish it and say that tastes like more. Zahar, while they are doing that, what are you doing outside?
At the moment, I'm just watching, just to see the traffic patterns
Okay.
and stuff, to get a feel. Because to my thinking, Kash, while a permanent city, is also an ever shifting city.
Very much so.
To get an idea of where things have moved, if she can pick up where the different are the quadrants still the same as, like, are the religious quadrants still where it was last time, and the bazaar and that kind of stuff before going on.
So make me again, this will be an intellect check. Anything that you have, I'm going to say perception by itself is not going to count because you're trying to get a read on the whole city with one view. But if you have any other kind of noticing or deductive skills or anything like that that you want to pitch me, that'd be fine.
Yeah, no, I just have perception and survival skills.
You didn't gain any local knowledge from your ancestry?
No.
No.
No, my ancestry gave me much better survival skills.
Okay, then yeah, you got a difficulty 4 intellect roll in front of you. Oh, there you go.
Nice.
That's how you do it.
I am home.
Yep. You are absolutely home. Even from this vantage point, you can kind of, you are still familiar enough with the various types of dress, types of the way that different castes of people and different tribes of people carry themselves in Kash, that you can kind of get a good idea of kind of where everyone is headed. And from that, like I said, even from this vantage point, you can start to kind of map out where things probably are. I will say that last time you were here, it is so the worship of Arashki is misunderstood by many, and so there's not a big huge glittering temple that advertises "Come worship death." Yeah. So the worshippers of Arashki are far more hidden.
Mhm.
There's far more investigation and inquiry that you will need to do in order to find them or have them find you. It's not quite to the point where you should put your various religious symbols under other clothing or anything like that. Though some people may look at you a little strange.
They always do.
Yeah. But no, there's no Temple of Death next exit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then I adjust my hijab and everything, my accoutrement, and just walk into the inn.
Okay. The tavern keeper looks up. Ah, welcome home.
Light be upon you.
And upon you.
Please, please, my friend, tell me you have cough. I have not had good cough in quite a while.
Hold on. And he dips into the back for a moment, comes out with probably about twice the size of a standard espresso cup, with the darkest cough you have ever seen. The scent hits your nose, and then a moment later, he sprinkles a little bit of cinnamon on the top. It does not even sink. It stays floating on the top, and you've never had cinnamon in your cough before, and just wasn't something you thought to do. And this is one of those where has this been all my life kind of moments.
Yeah, those near me can almost hear me purring. My tribe is the sand cat after all.
No, the cat person was the last game. He sets it down in front of you.
My friend, how much?
Welcome home, sister.
Thank you, brother. And I pick it up and I just sniff.
It is definitely hot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you certainly don't want to chug it, because
Oh no.
again, but yeah, it's just you just kind of sit there for several moments, just literally breathing it in.
And just I don't have my eyes open, but she's imagining the looks of horror of the non-desert friends at the fact that she is going to drink this very hot drink.
Yeah.
But what she hasn't realized is that when she does open her eyes, there's Tequila right over her left shoulder, inhaling the aroma, going, "What's that?"
Okay, so I will say that was better than what I thought you were going to say, which was sitting there with a straw. So.
I think perhaps the last thing Tequila needs
Is caffeine.
is
Caffeine.
caffeine.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I mean, just really.
Yep. So okay, so Taquito's new
very
nickname is
intriguing.
Stop
I'd like to have
myself
one
from
too.
actually making contact because I realized that it's Tick.
okay, Tick's nickname is now Hammy.
And I just slide a little over
So
and sip.
I would like the other four of you, please, to make perception rolls, and I'm going to. That does what I want to do. Perception, especially smell-based perception, would certainly apply here. Tequila, you can also take an asset because you are right up in it.
Thank you.
Difficulty 3?
Yep. Oh, there you go.
Wow.
That's 2 20s. Love it. Oh, you love to see it. Okay.
About coffee.
Yeah, this is
We're
how the
gonna
game
need
makes up for
those
combat.
later. and
Okay,
they're
so now
not going to
so
be
now we
there.
know where the dice's priorities are.
We're going to be carting a bucket of that stuff around.
Right.
Bizarre.
Like our last game, coffee is important.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, but should really the gnome with ADHD get
No.
caffeinated?
It might actually help him focus.
So, any of our viewers, if you did not watch our last campaign, The Powers That Be, the party's hangout was was the local Sunbucks coffee shop, where the coffee machine had been improved by the technical genius that was on the team at the time. Go back; it's hilarious. Anyway, so that was Tick and Serafina both got 20s on it.
Yeah.
So this is, I mean, it's sludge. It really is. It's you're not quite sure that drinking it is really what's appropriate here. Like any thicker and it would be almost gelatinous.
Eat it with a spoon?
Yeah. The smell is at the same time both enticing and extremely bitter.
Huh.
Oh, so kind of like Zahar. I see.
Oh.
Welcome
Oh.
to your personality. Now you know
Huh.
where it's from.
I
Oh
wasn't
my-
gonna
oh.
go there, man.
Did I
Okay.
say that out loud?
Zell, take an XP.
Yeah.
That was too good.
Beat me to it.
Oh my gosh.
Living dangerously.
Yep.
Pretty man. Living
But yeah, I'm
dangerous.
just sitting there sipping, purring, being a happy little sand cat
Okay.
at the moment.
So I will offer Zahar, because you are extremely flush with XP right now, and we should not save it all for rerolls. If you would like, for 2 XP, I will allow you. We can say that you know, not only what you already know about the Temple of Arashki, but also where it was last time you were here, and something about something about its movement patterns. So, yep.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
Okay. So spend the 2 XP and yep. Okay. Yeah. So I will say, so Zahar, Ekat, is Zahar at all interested in sharing?
Hell no.
I didn't think so, but I figured I'd
If they
check.
want it, now they know the name to ask.
Do any of the rest of you wish to partake in the cough?
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, yeah.
After this, I mean, I at least have to try it.
That, and I want my major effect to be that I'm able to figure out what's in it, approximate, proportions and what have you,
Okay,
so
yeah.
that I can try to recreate this, get
Because
the supplies to be able to recreate this on the road / home.
Yeah, because you do have cooking. I thought you did.
I was just thinking how at Cafe Mahaba they picked up the hot sand thing for making the Turkish coffee.
Yep.
And if there's anybody in the party who can make sand hot enough to make coffee in it, it'd be Serafina.
And a glass to serve in it. Yes, your little culinary brain goes to work on this, and yes, you can write down under your equipment recipe for cough. KAAF.
KAAF. Okay.
Yes. Tick, do you have any particular ideas for your major?
After getting some of the cough and having some of it, like given the quantity, about a third.
Okay.
It
I
comes
want
in
Tick.
pints.
I want Tick to sound calm and reasonable.
There you go. Yep. Standard.
Like coherent.
Yep. ADHD caffeine reaction. Gotta love it. Okay, so Serafina and Tick, it is an Argentum for the cough.
Oop.
Not that
Sorry, boy cat was
worries.
was being a dick.
Yep. I don't want to worry too much about money, especially given how hand wavy CYPHER system is about it. But more for story terms than anything else. Yours are not free.
You said it was.
Okay, I don't have any money in my technically loaded in my.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, it's an Argentum.
We've got it.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
We just got paid.
Yep. And you're going to get paid a lot more tomorrow. So, yeah. So, Ray, describe what Tick is like under the influence of cough.
So he takes a sip and he is simultaneously completely brought in by the flavor and repelled by the bitterness. But the bitterness fades, leaving behind just this amazing, fully encompassing flavor, just both olfactory and savored. And he just sips it, and as he sips more, all of the noise, all of the just the dozens of conversations and extra tabs that are open in his little brain actually start to fade into the background, and he discovers that he's sitting there holding this cup, and his entirety is just focused on the cup. And what's even more surprising, he's never felt this before.
Yep.
He has never experienced the clarity and the calm of being able to not focus because he had to and he was overstimulated and hyper focusing. No, this is the most zen he's ever discovered, and he is both trying to enjoy it, but he's also still trying to study it. He's trying to understand the why, but at the same time, just the coffee is just like, No, just this,
Okay.
and as soon as the rest of the party comes to realize that they're expecting Tick to like zip around and run around the block 15 times, they hear him say, I've never experienced a taste or sensation such as this. And he takes another sip and he sits in silence. And
I
it's
don't
that
like it.
voice
Flame.
and it's that inflection.
This is the longest any of you have seen Tick be silent, even when he was sleeping.
A light and flame. You, brother, you have performed a miracle.
It's. I certainly like him better this way.
As I said, I foresee us carrying a bucket of this around with us.
Make that happen.
I'll tell you what, Ray. It's not a GM intrusion, but again, I will offer you an expenditure of XP. For 1 XP, we can say that the cough is helping you focus so much that int-based rolls for the next 10 minutes or so will be eased by 1 step.
Done.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. So that's the 3 of them. Zell, Howard, what are you guys doing? Aside from gawking at Tick.
So I decided to follow suit with how Zahara's drinking hers because I don't want to be a Philistine or anything like that on this new lovely city. So I'm slowly sipping it. At first, I don't like it. It's kind of bitter and stuff, but fortunately, I'm very good at lying, so I do my best not to show it. But then about halfway through it, I'm really starting to enjoy it. And then by the time I finished it, my eyes have gotten kind of big and my horns have grown just a little bit longer. And like anybody see their watch can actually just kind of watch that happen like, oh, that'll put some hair in your chest or something.
I thought you liked to be smooth like a baby's bottom.
Oh, the horn. No, I can't.
The-
I can't.
the-
I can't. It's right there. I can't.
Yes.
That's a image that's
Mhm.
going to be burned into my.
Yeah, baby.
So Heward is
Ah,
looking at all of this in kind of amusement. And the bartender sort of makes a gesture like it's gonna offer him some, and he just shakes his head. It's like, Zahar, you remember the last time I had some of that stuff?
Yeah, no.
It didn't go well.
Keep with the Sakanjaban.
That, on the other hand, is lovely. I'll gladly have more. And he slides over another Argentum.
And he. Would you like them both now, or should I hold the other one? Keep it cool for you.
Just one. No. Keep the change.
You are too kind. Howard, make me. Let's see. What have you got? So make me a pleasant social interactions roll, but you can take an asset because of the discussion of drinks and the fact that you're with friends. It will be difficulty 3. You got an inability.
Yes.
I'm gonna use it.
That's fine. I mean, bartender probably hears him mutter under his breath, like, you know, in response to the "you're too kind," as he obviously doesn't know me. Um,
Hot damn! That's a my. Why is it not giving? Okay. Yeah, that's a
I-
minor effect right there. Um, so you notice that he is kind of regarding you a little strangely, not hostile by any stretch of the imagination, but very, very curious.
Sandcat got your tongue, friend?
My apologies. I was not aware. Forgive me. I mean no disrespect. I thought your kind existed only in legend.
Um, see his bill sort of grind together a little bit. No, my kind was quite real once. They lived south of here in the Fenlands, but no more. We were betrayed, and as far as I know, I'm the last of them. So we may indeed pass into legend.
A sad tale indeed. Uh, he thinks for a second and kind of reaches, behind the bar and pulls a stool over and actually sits down across the bar from you. I have been here for many years. Have seen countless travelers, adventurers, seekers, traders. No one comes to Kash without looking for something. It is a notable day for me to have the honor of meeting you, and so I would ask if you are willing to share what is it that you seek.
There's a trader who used to travel up and down the coast. I know we're inland here. Um, Name of Uther the Sly. He owes a debt to me.
And he thinks for a second. I do not know the man, but I believe I have heard his name spoken. About a fortnight ago, as I recall, there were two men sitting at this table right here next to the bar. And I recall that not only was it an unusual name, but it is unusual that someone would be referred to as the Sly in as positive terms as they seemed to be discussing him. He seemed to be an ally or something of them. One was of Saga. I am not sure what tribe. Sister, my apologies for that. But the other, and he looks up at this point at Zell, The other was one of your kind. He went around the rest of Kash hooded, as there are those who dislike what they believe your people stand for.
You hear a creaking noise as Hereward is gripping the bar so hard that the wood is stressing. Names? Did you recall a name?
No. I did not overhear much of that conversation, and they did not refer to each other by name. It was just the two of them. There was no question as to whom they were addressing.
Do you know where they went afterwards?
They... Let me think. The one of Saga was talking of their next move. And I recall them saying something about heading far to the west, far beyond the spine. Farther even than beyond the Spine River. Perhaps beyond even the cradle. It was another odd name. I cannot recall it.
Buckhorn?
No, that was not it. Let's see. What I'm going to do here. Tick! GM intrusion.
Hey.
Okay. So you are listening to this in kind of that weird half state of you're only kind of half listening and you are still focused on it because of the effect that the cough is having on you. And kind of before you even really understand what it is that you're saying, the name Verkbar Mount has escaped your lips. And he looks up and says, "That was it, yes. Verkbar." It is very difficult for those who speak as we do. Verkbar?
Yes. Verkbar Mount.
Yes, I believe. Yes, they said that was where their next ally waited for them.
And now Tick has all of this attention focused on the man behind the counter.
Okay.
What more can you tell me about this man?
There were two. One, as I said, one was from these lands, Saga. The other, I do not know his birthplace, but his ancestry is that of your friend over there with the very odd reaction with the horns. I'm not quite sure if that's lewd or not.
Nobody knows.
We don't want to know.
Probably best that way. As I said, I overheard only snippets of their conversation. It was only because they were this close. It was unfortunately It was a rather busy evening, unfortunately. Fortunately for business, unfortunately for espionage. I will tell you what. I have friends who may know more. They are tight-lipped when not encouraged properly, if you take my meaning. Any kind of, I can ask them what they know. And I will do this for you.
Please.
As my assistance to perhaps solving your sad tale and yours as well, my little friend.
And in exchange for?
Coin is no object for this.
It is a steep price to pay. I believe that between them all, and he actually, anyone who wants to can make me a difficulty for, again, we're going for sense motive, insight, not straight up perception, because this is much more about the faces and the face and the emotion underneath. Oh, I need to move this one. There we go. Okay. Nice.
That is not a skill I have.
Then it's just intellect. And remember, Tick, you're taking an asset on this as well.
Oh,
Okay.
Hereward has like laser focus
Damn,
on this
Hereward.
guy. Yeah.
You are rolling well tonight. We better not have any combats to muck it up.
You had to say it.
Right? You can tell that he looks genuinely guilty at what he is about to say. So when he names the price of 3 aurum, he is not trying to fleece you at all. These are friends that one does not discuss openly, and they are very interested in the coin of the realm, as it were, and it will take quite a bit, he thinks, to loosen their tongues, but he believes that is a reasonable sum to get them to talk.
Hereward slaps down 4, probably a little hard, onto the top of the board.
I add 1.
And tell me if you need more.
For this, I might even be able to arrange an introduction.
You will have my eternal gratitude should you do this.
Have you procured lodgings?
Not yet.
He points out and kind of, motions to his left. About a half a dozen doors down, you will find a lodging establishment. The sign outside is a sand dune in the shape of an ocean wave. I believe it is referred to as the crashing dune.
The what?
The crashing dune.
Thank you.
They are one of the more reputable establishments here at this entrance to Kash, and they are not also.
My apologies, brother. And I'm saying I'm speaking in desert.
Okay.
I did not get your name.
As I'm looking up Persian names right now.
Brought us to Kash and you didn't look up Persian names?
I meant to, and then I didn't. His name is Amzu, Amzu.
Thank you, Amzu. I am Zahar bint Majid of the Bareha. You have my gratitude for helping my friend.
And I have yours. Or you have mine, sister, for it is good to see one come home. I will do what I can. They operate mostly at night, as you can probably understand.
Mm-hmm.
If you are staying at the Crashing Dune, come back here for morning meal tomorrow, and I will tell you what I was able to find out.
Sounds good. Tell me, as you know, who I serve. Others, are they in the same district as they were a year ago?
I hold a great deal of worship of respect for your lady. You must understand. I am not
Sure.
a follower of her. I have heard nothing of that particular sect having relocated. I cannot tell you for certain.
Fair enough. I appreciate your assistance. Thank you.
Of course. Okay. Is there anything else that anyone wants to ask Amzu, as I get my other Google window out of the way so you can actually see the screen again? 3 monitors. You think I'd have enough real estate? Nope.
Nope.
I want to know if there are libraries that are open to the public for magical research.
Ah. There is. And he gives you directions to a magical library and actually honestly a little bit of a school. Nothing formal, nothing like, not even like a mentor-student relationship, just more of a, sit and trade, trade craft ideas kind of thing. Sometimes a drum circle breaks out. And name to be determined, because I did not prep names, and I apologize. Does anyone else wish to ask Amzu anything?
Actually, yes. The one who looked like me. What did he look like? We each tend to be kind of unique.
From what I could see, and he spent most of the evening under his hood, as you might imagine. I believe that his skin was a more reddish purple tone than yours. His horns curved back like yours, but from what I could tell from the way he moved, if I had to guess, far longer, far further.
Drank lots of calf, obviously.
No, actually, he did not. He subsisted only on water, strangely enough. His companion partook of kaf and sakanjabin, as is right and proper for a Sagan. I will see. I will see what I can find.
Thank you.
Again, forgive me. While you are certainly not the first of your kind that I have met, your kind is by no means common in this area. Anything else?
Tequila brings his cup, sets it down on the counter, leans in, looks down, gets on his tiptoes, and leans in a little bit more.
Okay.
Looks up at, what's his name again?
Amzu.
Amzu. Looks at him and says, "Your equipment is all in working order."
Yes.
"I have skills in machines and gadgets.
I see.
I offer to you my services should you need them."
Your offer is generous and kind. For the length of your stay here, if I have need, I would be honored to have your assistance.
You may want to provide him with calf before then. This is the most lucid any of us have seen him.
Okay, that's fair.
I stand up. I look at Amzu. May the flame light your night. And I walk out.
May hope shine down upon you, sister. Which is a traditional sentiment of those who worship the goddess of the moon. Or of the moons, excuse me.
Yeah, her two are from her father and her mother.
Yep. Yeah, he does note the combination of the two, and just doesn't say anything. Just kind of, he cocks his eyebrow just a little tiny bit, and then just kind of
Right,
smiles and
because
nods.
the paladin of death quoting the god of
Yep.
light and the lord of flame. Yeah.
Blessings on the Sky Father on you and your house, my friend.
I hope that I may be of some small assistance in helping you find what you are looking for.
You have given me a sliver of peace which I have not had for years. That enough is worth all the gold I have and more.
Be careful, or I will hold you to that.
Hope is a fickle thing, my friend.
Then let us hope that yours pans out.
Thank you. Until we speak again.
Of course.
And he goes and follows Zahar.
So now what do the five of you do?
I'm waiting outside for them,
Yep.
just soaking in the sunshine.
I'm assuming that everyone leaves along with the two of them.
Well, we've had some refreshment, but we should drop our stuff and create kind of a home base before we start wandering off.
Yeah,
to,
I
you
mean,
know.
you can tell Hereward is almost vibrating. Like he's just the promise of a little more information is the only thing keeping him from, trying to get across the continent immediately. Like,
So Heward is all overexcited, and Tequila is calm and zen.
I was just about to say, the other three of you are shocked because now Harold's the one vibrating and Tequila's the one who's calm and quiet.
What is this world coming to?
Yep.
And Zahar is happy.
Yeah, this city is just starting to get to me already. Like,
Right?
what is happening to everybody?
it's weird and unnatural.
Tequila steps
trust me,
1 foot near the
person being
doorway.
For a person who's constantly accused of being weird and unnatural, that means something.
Tequila is calmly walking out the door, and as he steps right at the threshold of the door, he stops, turns around, and with only a slight hurry in his step, goes back to his cup, picks it up, looks at it, does the sets it down, and then rejoins the party outside.
So as you drain the last swigs of the small cup, the last taste to linger in your mouth is the cinnamon, which I think is something that Tequila has probably never tried before.
Mm-mm.
So it is at the same time sweet, smoky, a little spicy, but not very woody. I mean, Ray knows what cinnamon smells like or tastes like, but for Tequila, this is new.
Very.
And it is very pleasant. Again, it's not something that, if someone had presented you with this flavor profile in kind of an intellectual conversation, you would not have thought that you would like it as much as you do.
Mm-hmm.
And the five of you are outside. Again, in the hustle and bustle of the morning life that is Kash.
So, considering myself with business matters, we don't have to be anywhere until tomorrow, correct?
So is that a question for the party or for me?
Collect the money.
For you to collect the money. That is tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
if I remember
yeah.
right.
Tomorrow morning, you're set to collect the rest of the money from the caravan master, as well as now stop back and get whatever information Amzu was able to gather overnight.
Okay. Well, I figure we at least need to figure out our home base so we all have somewhere to get back to. And otherwise, any particular reason we need to stick together, Zahar?
Not so much. I would still caution you, Zell, especially to be wary of my homeland.
strangers
I'm
in dark
who-
corners.
I'm
I
who is
am aware.
a lot more tolerant than, say, if you met my tribe.
I have the unfortunateness of it's very difficult to cover anything up. As I hold up, my graying arm and pointy teeth and all that stuff, like it's getting difficult.
All right, then follow me. And I drag him literally into the garment district.
Okay.
Woo, clothes shopping.
Basically, get him into the robes, the traditional head wrap that has the scarf that can be brought across the face.
Okay.
There. Bit of
So-
haggling, because that's what you have to do in bazaars.
Haggle?
Yes.
I think you just said the magic
Haggle.
word.
Now, does Tequila draw any eyes given his hair coloring and size?
No, you every once in a while you will see another gnome. Several of them are dressed in what you have come to expect, very similar to the way Zahara is dressed, obviously without the religious symbolism. But dressed as one would when one lives in Saga. But there's that aside, there is you recognize enough of the gnomish build and and so on and so forth that every once in a while you know that you have passed another gnome. You are by far not the only gnome in Kash.
Is not where no man has gone before.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that. So is everyone going to the garment district? I know Zahar and Zell are.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, let's
'cause-
let's not split the party.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yet.
All five go
Yeah.
different directions just to annoy the GM.
Then we'll have 5 solo sessions between now and the next time we get back together. So yes, you are able to procure actually a set of desert traveling clothes for Zell. They are by far not the most fashionable thing, Zell, that you've ever put on, but they are very effective in both covering you up while still allowing, while still being very breathable. This is the kind of thing that people would wear when traveling through Saga specifically to avoid dust storms and things like that. So it does keep you relatively well, and also sun overexposure. So yes, it will keep you covered. It will give you an asset to attempting to hide what you are. And you guys have enough coin that it is not significant. Okay. Does anyone else want to do anything in this part of town?
Yeah, I'd like to get a lightweight outer layer robe and headscarves
Okay.
to try to keep the sand off me and out of my mouth.
Yeah, anyone who wants to can get like a set of these traveling robes.
Burnoose for everybody.
Yep.
Yep.
Or for those who don't already have one.
I'll be getting more in the religious district.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming Hereward has one already from their association.
I would assume so too, since we've been here.
Can I get one in the brightest colors?
Not immediately.
Okay.
They are in mostly shades of white and off-white, as that reflects the most light and heat from the sun. However, there are fabric dyers available who will be happy to, tie-dye whatever you want. Plaid, whatever strikes your fancy. Paisley! Yeah, if that is what you wish, they will happily oblige you. But no, they are made
Actually,
basically of like a thick muslin.
Okay.
I could totally see this being the first time he encounters Paisley. It's like, what
Valor tech.
is that?
At which point,
Tick.
Har is muttering under her breath in several dialects of desert.
I see the cough is wearing off far too quickly.
Zahar, please make me a perception roll, difficulty 6.
Use the right mouse here. To the right screen. Jesus.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
And that's with effort.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So
I'm distracted by being home.
Yep. All right. So then yeah, after you were done in the garment district, where next?
All right, let's go to get our inn settlement with the inn. And then we can part our ways as needed.
Okay. Yep. You head back to the crashing dune. The rooms are, how many rooms do you want?
How much are the rooms?
An arum per night per room.
I'm willing to share. Usually, I'm used to sharing with Heward.
Yeah. I'm fine with sharing with Zell and Tech if you guys want.
Sounds good.
Do you know how long you are planning on being in Kash?
3 to 5 days at the moment. Maybe less, maybe more.
Then I hope you will understand if I ask for the first 3 nights upfront, in case you're forced to make a hasty retreat or a hasty exit.
I drop it.
Okay.
I look at our group. Fair enough.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah.
So 6 arum for 3 nights. 6 arum for 3 nights.
No, you're getting 2 rooms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 1 arum per room per night, so yeah, a total of 6 arum.
Yep, I got it.
Okay, yeah, got it.
I throw the money down.
Okay. She, with a very practiced hand, sweeps it off the table, kind of the same way that like a casino dealer does.
Mm-hmm.
And it is gone, and she hands you actually little globes of glass with a small little bit of red glowing at the center.
Hmm.
These will lead you to your rooms, as well as give you privacy and security.
I take them both. I toss one to Zell.
You have acquired room key. So yeah, so I for the room that the three of you are sharing, there are only 2 beds.
Whichever I'm fine with, sharing about with either one of you guys. It's fine.
I'm accustomed to
I like
sleeping
it.
on the.
Said,
What was that, Tech?
I'm accustomed to sleeping on the floor.
Little pillow made of papers. Okay, so you all get set, and then who's going where? Zahar, you know Kash well enough to know that while 5 of you traveling together may or may not be necessary, none of the 4 of them should probably go out on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And as the only one who has been here, it might actually not be a bad idea to stick together.
Yeah.
Not only for the sake of your GM sanity, promise. I said not
Before
only.
leaving the room,
Okay.
Tequila goes up to Zell and very inquisitive look on his face. Like, the sphere. Can I see it?
don't break it, or we can't get our stuff back.
Fine. And he studies it. And
Okay.
he looks at the glass and the glow and trying to detect craftsmanship, just kind of the makeup.
Okay.
And he's very intrigued.
Okay. So this is going to be an intellect-based roll. Pitch me some skills if you want, but it's going to start at a difficulty 6.
No. No. Ooh. No. Wait. Energy. No.
So
Dang it.
looking at what you have, I will take. You can make the roll and consider yourself trained. So just make an intellect roll and give yourself the status of trained, and then depending on what you roll, I will tell you which skill I used.
Well, okay then. Twained. And I would like to throw in some effort on that.
Go for it.
Chwea.
Oh, nice. Okay, remember to click the coin stack to get your points back. Or point back, I suppose.
Don't care.
Yep. So, yeah. Damn, you guys are rolling well tonight. Love to see it.
Because we're not fighting.
Right.
No one's life is on the line.
Yeah. So this is the skill that was used was magic training. It is absolutely magical. It was not crafted in the traditional sense of the word. Whatever created this, it was created in one fell swoop as this thing. Now, I mean, you could try to take it apart to see if you can figure out how, but you'd probably literally be letting the magic smoke out.
But yeah,
Um,
no, Tequila wants to go down to the desk and inquire as to the source of these as we're on our way out. Not as the primary, like this is not quite a ooh, squirrel, and
Yep.
then going off, but like this is something he wants to follow up on.
okay. So you said when you leave, you mean now, or like when you're planning on leaving, like leaving?
No, not leaving. So as we head down to go and do stuff, it's just like he's gonna talk to the woman behind the desk and inquire as to, either a source or somebody else to talk to ask about where these came from.
So I'm just gonna talk about this because I'm not. I'm just gonna narrate it. So there are at least a few vendors scattered throughout the bazaar who do specialize in the crafting of magical items. Minor ones like this can be more easily made permanent. Something, obviously the more power that something has, the harder and therefore more expensive if you wanted to buy it. It would be to procure. She doesn't know much about magic. She knows that they work and that they were available for purchase. And she kind of puffs herself up a little bit as she talks about how the clientele of the Crashing Dune expect more than a simple iron bar across the door.
Mm-hmm.
And we are happy to oblige them. And she does give you a name, which is coming right up here in just a minute. Talk to Reza the Enchanter, Reza.
Reza.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so what now? Yeah, the rest of you notice that Tick is staying inside for like a minute or two after the rest of you have left.
I'll head back in. Just to make sure he doesn't do a tick.
So okay.
Watch until he catches up.
Tick scuffles his little feet back out and
Everything okay?
taps Zell on the shoulder and hands him back the room key.
Where do y'all want to go? You've got a native guide, so to speak.
Would like to see if we can find out about this Whirlydwapter. Might as well get some leads now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main thing we're here for right now, is to see if we can repair that.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even gonna make you roll. Yes, you are able. After searching for probably an hour or so, just because when Zahar talked about the garment district, that was a loose definition at best. There it is very much a slipshod, everyone just sets up where they are, and it kind of grew organically. And when one person up and leaves, another comes and takes their spot, and they may have, maybe a completely different set of wares. So while there is a traditional garment district, for example, it's probably only about maybe at a good stretch 40 to 50% actual garment vendors. But yes, after looking around for, like I said, about an hour or so, you do find you find an inventor's, kind of like a little inventor's shared workspace, kind of. Combination, VFW hall equivalent, as well as, there are parts that you can buy if you that are there for sale if you need them and don't already have what you need. It's a decent size workshop, and you can see that there are several benches. Only a couple of them are occupied right now. There are a couple of humans working at one, and then you actually see a gnome working at one of the other ones.
And Tequila doesn't remember the last time his eyes got this wide this often.
You should come to Kash more often.
Right?
What is it, half man? Do you have to make water? That's frequently a side effect of drinking calf.
Tequila just slowly turns and looks at Harewood. Don't harsh my buzz, man.
Your gnomish tongue is confusing.
Your face is confusing. That's the other thing. Oh my gosh. In his calm state, he doesn't even realize that his phobia of waterfowl has dissipated.
One might even say evaporated.
Yes.
Oh, so now he's being all snarky.
So the caffeine is fading at this point.
It is fading, yes,
yeah,
because you're about to see what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on the find out part of the equation.
Yes, we are.
I will remember that, half man.
And so, Tequila's looking at the stations and about to go to one, makes one step towards it, sees the gnome, and turns on a dime and walks towards him. Assumes it's a him.
Okay.
And goes up to him and from the sides, excuse me. Are you from Verkbar?
Well, yes. Aren't we all? I mean,
Technically, no.
anyway.
Wait, what's the goddamn city name? Hold
Durbo.
on. Durbo, yeah. Technically, I'm born and raised in Durbo. Where are you from?
Verkbar.
Right, where in Verkbar?
The third Southmore Craig. This means nothing to you.
Right, of course not. But it's what you do.
Yeah.
I'm Tequila. What's your name?
Finbaz. Pleasure to meet you. He's only kind of half looking up, enough to recognize you as a gnome, but he's in the middle of what looks to be somewhere between a crafting session and a science experiment. And you do recognize that very distinctive tinge of, if I don't keep an eye on this, it's going to explode, or at least there's a higher chance of it exploding than if I don't.
And sensing the whole energy of the situation, as soon as the formalities are done, he's like, "What are you working on? What is this? What does that do?"
Well, I don't know yet. It's not done. And he
Well, don't
he
you have
says
a
this to you
working-
like this is, he's talking to you like he thinks you're an idiot.
Well,
Oh, I muttered to myself, "Oh my God, there's two of them," and I just step away, just very, very, just.
the whole
So,
group goes,
Serafina, do you think this is a mating ritual amongst his kind?
That is a very distinct possibility. All I know is I'm trying to get out of the blast zone.
I mean, I have seen such desperation amongst sad man children in bars before.
Fortunately, now Tix has his attention on Finbaz and the thing, and does not hear the shade being just dumped
Yep.
relentlessly.
So, Argentum on whether or not he gets rejected by his suitor.
Sure.
All right. So, other than making small talk, is there anything specific that you are trying to learn from Finbaz?
Right now, again, having not tinkered with anything,
Sure.
and then sensing sort of his tone with me, I would like to make a "there's your problem" roll to try to show him up.
Okay. No, I mean, Finbaz does know what he's doing. So this is going to be a difficulty 5. There's your problem. Roll.
Okay. And throwing an effort on.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
Nice.
Top run is in the wrong column.
So basically what happens is you see that something is about to spark and light something on fire, and you wait until the very, very last moment, and just as it's starting, you reach over and
I look at here, definitely a mating ritual.
Indeed.
he looks at you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Check your materials and your timing next time. That'll help delay the reaction so you don't almost get that blown up in your face.
But you don't have to be rude about it.
It was effective. And he walks off.
Okay.
So now that this, like we've definitely switched directions. Tick isn't like completely his old self, but there's definitely that more scattered and bursts of energy and everything. He finds a table and goes up to it, irregardless of what the rest of the party is doing, gets the bag where the parts are and opens it up and starts to remove all of the pieces in order to just sit and work on it.
Okay. So Zahar, I will say that as long, you know, this place is not new to you. I mean, you obviously didn't spend much time here, but you are familiar with it and its reputation in Kash. And you are relatively confident that as long as one of you stays with Tick, because you know how Tick gets, to just, like, you know, make sure that make sure that nothing untoward happens because of anyone other than himself. The other three can probably continue on if you have other places to be. This is not a place where the entire party needs to stay.
Okay. So I pull the other three to the side and go, he should be good here for a while, though one of us should stay. Just to keep an eye on him because, Deke. Anybody will stay
Because
behind?
no.
Well, since Serafina has somewhere else she wants to be, and Heward and Tick get along about as well as Oil and Waterfowl, I will volunteer. Although, once again, if you encounter any of my kind, make note where you found them.
Sure.
Otherwise, poke around the corner here, find something to drink, and then just watch everything happen. This should be exciting.
Stay out of blast zone.
Okay. So
Okay, so
are we on our way?
yep. So Tick, go ahead and let's see, what all can we use here? I mean, it's definitely going to be, I assume, a tinker roll.
Oh yes.
And then let's see. Yeah, I think you can throw in a training from identifying and from there's your problem. So you can consider yourself specialized for this role.
Okay. Excellent.
Now,
Where did...
that being said, are you taking your time, or are you like are you trying to skip to the end?
No, we haven't gotten to the manic part of hyper focus and like completely scatterbrained yet. So
Okay.
there's still a remnant of like the directions, the tabs are popping back open, but we're not at full no ADHD gnome yet.
Okay.
So I'm taking my time.
Okay. So what this is going to be a series of these rolls up to the final difficulty. Because you are specialized, you can go through the first two, which will be about the first hour, without even having to roll.
Okay.
And then we'll cut back to the other three, and then we'll cut back to you for like the next couple of rolls.
Okie dokie.
It's going to be the final difficulty is actually going to be 7. Obviously, with your specialization that brings it down 2, but yeah, the base difficulty of the final roll will be 7, and you basically have to work up to it.
Got it.
So you've auto succeeded on the difficulty 1 and the difficulty 2. The next one will be a difficulty 3, which you get it.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Actually, that the way you said that unlocked how you do the deductions and everything. So very much appreciated.
So then Howard, Serafina, and Zahar.
You seem to have lost Serafina.
We did.
She got distracted in a booth somewhere. She'll catch up.
So actually, while we're waiting for that, Zell, since you are on Tequila Watch, how are you busying yourself while Tequila is in this particular his element?
So I am going to set myself up in near the door, like one of the available tables. And since I obviously don't have a whole lot to do aside from polish my sword or whatnot, I'm going to pay attention to how the gnomes interact with each other, because I'm not very good at persuading them or anything along those lines. So I could use some expertise to figure out how they tick and what I can take advantage of in case I need something out of one of them in the future.
Okay. Please make me a perception roll, difficulty 6.
Oh,
Okay.
Ooh.
okay, that's it.
Lost our feed to the chat log. Damn it. Okay. That's fine. So yeah, you're setting up. You don't really, after that little interaction, you don't really see much of anything. Sorry, guys, I'm also trying to figure out what is going on here with the chat log and why that's going. There we go. Who knows? Yeah, after that little interaction, you see that Finbaz just kind of goes back to doing his thing. Every once in a while, you'll see there's like, a little like puff of smoke, or something that arises from his workstation, and he covers it up very quickly, and you can see that every once in a while he does just glance into Keetl's direction, in understanding that Tick actually has his back to him, in that manner of oh good, no one saw. But by no one he means Tick. Okay, so now back to the other three. Howard, Serafina, and Zahar, where are you headed?
I'm gonna follow. Let's try this in English.
No, straight to desert.
Words.
Words are hard.
Do I have an idea of roughly where to start looking for Serafina, where that library-ish
Yeah.
thing is?
Yeah, you have heard of it before. You know generally where it is, and unlike what you're looking for, this is not something that kind of up and moves ever. It is actually one of the few actual stone buildings
Okay.
in this part of Kash.
So I lead her to that.
Okay.
Words are hard and books are heavy.
Yep. And sandstorms don't help anything. So yeah, so let's Serafina, go ahead and make me, please, a couple of. I'm gonna make these int checks, and you can use magic training as nope, that's
Okay.
and we're going to. So, what are you just looking for? Anything, or are you looking for something specific?
I'm looking for stuff specifically fire magic and or information about celestials.
Okay. Then we will make it a. So we'll start at a difficulty 3. This is another one of those where higher results gets you. A higher roll gets you better results.
Okay.
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 So you beat it by 2. So yes, you do. You do find some references to fire magic. What you learn is, as you have done, the ability to shield yourself with fire is how many fire mages start learning. The next thing that usually happens is learning how to kind of take your shroud and kind of launch it as being offensive, as offense. Excuse me. Translation: that's your tier 2 ability. Um, so you have you were able to find some things that might make getting to that a little more straightforward. You don't find like magical formulas or anything, but you do, yeah, you find, kind of like a little bit of a bit of a guide. On the Celestials front, you actually do find, you find actually a kind of somewhere between an academic and religious treatise on that simply refers to Celestials as those from above. Details the history of the animosity between those from above and those from below. Definitely paints the Celestials as the good guys. And in fact, make me a... Do you have anything that would help with this? Unfortunately, it is going to be detecting falsehoods.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's going to be difficulty 4.
Ooh,
Oh, there we go.
damn.
Do you wish to reroll it?
No, let's go with a jam and intrusion and
Okay.
see what happens.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. So as you are looking through this and you're you find yourself muttering to yourself, kind of, and not even really realizing it, almost to the point where you're kind of reading it aloud as you're going, because you're trying to process everything. And a middle-aged, actually no, not middle-aged, probably late 20s, maybe 30, Sagan man comes up to you. He's got kind of shoulder length black hair. It's a little wavy. He has some creases on his skin, probably from being out in the sun and the sand too often. And he, you are so engrossed in this that it's not until you hear someone clear their throat that you look up and he is standing behind you, looking down at you very disappointedly. Hereward and Zahar, what are you doing while she is doing this research?
Hovering nearby, but also like glancing at titles and stuff on anything that might have a title, but
Hereward's probably a little bored, so has pulled out some dice and has sort of squat down and is, kind of dicing with himself.
He's creating characters. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to just go ahead and yeah, so that's going to be that. Yeah, you Zahar, you have gotten, your attention has been distracted by something. You actually happen to find, your eyes happen to glance over a scroll that deals with, that talks about the worship of Arashki. And kind of despite yourself, you kind of got sucked into it.
right.
So, yeah, Seraphina, neither one of them are paying attention to you as this guy stands over you. Can I help you with something, miss?
I only kind of half look up at him, like I'm looking for information on fire magic and celestials, doing research into my abilities and just expanding my knowledge base.
I see. Would you mind doing so a little more quietly, please?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. And he walks off. Yeah, so you go back to that. Zahar, let's see, what do you find out? You find out, and this was something that you did know, but kind of never really, it never really mattered, that in one of the practices of many of the gods is to have not only a champion, but a prophet as well. The champion is the the Iron Fist. The prophet is the much more Velvet Glove, and they are. And this was far more common in in the past, but honestly, many gods have all but abandoned the mortal plane almost entirely. So they may have one or the other. Some have given up on either one. As far as you know, Urashki has no prophet. But this is something that that was a practice in the past, and there are tales of great power and great events, both for good and bad, that have happened when the champion and the prophet's actions are aligned in the full service of their deity. Surely that can't be relevant to the plot.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, so that takes you guys probably about an hour or so. We're going to cut back to Zell and Tick. Tick, could you please make me a difficulty 3 tinkering roll?
Okay. That is that. That is that.
And you are specialized in this?
Done. Oh, thank God.
Yep. All right. And then the next one will be a difficulty 4.
Okay. This one throwing I am throwing on effort.
Okay.
Ah, shit.
No, you didn't set it to specialized, so no, you got it.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oops.
That's yeah, it would have, so 4 to 2 to 1. Yeah. Yeah, you got it. Okay, so that takes you the next hour. So what you are doing is you have kind of, you're going kind of back and forth between the part spins, because a lot of this is not really, this idea of like crystal tech is not very common. You had really only heard, I don't even want to say rumors, but like it has not been discussed very much, and among a lot of the artificer community, it's almost considered kook science, which for artificers is saying something.
Mm-hmm.
You managed to find a couple of parts that you can kind of wheedle in. You don't know if you're going to find what you need to activate the crystal, but at least with everything around, you will probably, if there's something that you still need, you will know what it is.
Okay.
All right. Back at the.
And
Oops,
while
okay,
he's
yes,
working,
Zell, I'm sorry. Yes.
to help maintain his focus, I go out and find him something to snack on, and like some refreshments, and then slowly just kind of like put them onto the table in an area he's not using, and then pull back, and then have my own tea or whatnot, just so like it's there in his peripheral vision. Was like, oh yeah, I'm getting hungry.
At one point, Tick, you look up and there's a lovely little like pile of dates underneath a tipped up box with a stick and a little
Yeah.
string leading away from it. I have no idea what that's for.
I turn to look at that contraption. You go, amateurs.
Yeah. Yeah. You send one of your little like clockwork contraptions. It trips the thing. The box falls down, and then it kind of it uses two of its little legs to like lift it up, and you get the dates out. So Zell, I would like you please to make me another difficulty 6 perception check. Okay. All right. The second hour passes relatively uneventfully for both parties. Yeah, Tequila, you don't quite know how, but like food has just the food has spontaneously burst into being on your table. This may be worthy of study.
Yes.
All right. And we switch back to the library. So you guys have been there about an hour. This is what you found so far. Are you staying and continuing to do research? Are you heading out and going somewhere else? What is the plan?
I look at Fina. How much longer do you think you'll need here?
I think I've got enough that I want to mull over what I found about extending out the fire magic and process what I read about the celestial stuff, and I can make another trip back tomorrow after I've had a chance to to think about stuff.
Okay. Hereward, could you please make me an intellect defense roll? We'll make it pretty easy for now. It's a 3.
Okay. Just
If you don't have intellect defense, it's just an intellect roll.
no, I do.
Okay.
I was just checking
Yep,
something.
no worries. No worries. Okay. So you're not you're not at the point where you like can't help doing something about it. But you have got a lot of nervous energy going on. You've already sat here for an hour and you've played all the dice you can really handle when there's no actual money on the line.
Right.
You're getting a little antsy.
Fida,
We're done. Yeah.
Okay, good. Good.
I can come back.
Okay. I would like the 3 of you, please, to make me difficulty 6 perception rolls.
Sorry, was that all of us?
The 3 of you in the library.
Okay.
Howard, Serafina, and Zahara.
Okay.
Jesus.
Oof.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
I'm still distracted.
Okay. So here I will ask a question of the players. Do you want me to tell you what you don't see?
No,
Okay.
I don't want to know.
Okay.
More fun
Only,
for the game.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, only if it helps the story, like the whole misfits and magic thing, where it's like here you don't see.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
if it's going to further the story, sure. If it's not, then no.
I mean, it's what you did not see was absolutely plot relevant, or I wouldn't have had you roll for it. So okay, but yeah, we'll go with no. That's fine. So yeah, you head out. You head out of the library. Where are you headed from here?
I turn to Heward and say, "Do you want to take Fina back to where the boys are? I have to go do something for my lady."
Right. Yeah. Sure. Let's do this thing. Come on, Fina.
Okay.
Okay.
Grabs her hand and starts walking.
Thank you for indulging me. And if you feel the need to stop someplace so that you can, smack somebody upside the head to get it out of your system, feel free.
No, we'll be meeting the Noma pretty soon, so that's good.
Fina and Hereward, please make me difficulty 2 intellect checks. Anything to deal with navigation or cities or anything like that would help here. This is just to see if you get back to the workshop without incident. There you go.
Yay, we don't get lost.
Yeah, great. So yeah, you make it back. And Zella, you see that Serafina and Hereward come back. Just the two of them.
What did you do to Zahar?
Nothing.
Nothing.
She had a thing she had to do. It's all right.
Okay. So I'll say it takes Zahar. It does take you a couple of hours to track things down. So, Takeedle, if you could please make me a difficulty 5 tinkering roll.
Am I specialized?
Yeah.
And effort.
Yeah. You will be specialized in all of these rolls.
Yay. Okay.
And then a difficulty 6. Nice.
I am good at what I do. I'm good at what I do.
And we're going to leave that there before the final roll.
Oh, gee.
Zahar. You have been a follower of Orashki for quite some time at this
12
point.
years.
Yep. You are familiar with not only her symbols and symbolism, but also the hints. Because Kash is not the only place where worship of her is looked upon questionably. So it's almost kind of like a thieves' cant kind of thing. You recognize the symbols and the subtexts that lead you to where you are going to go. And it takes you a while, but you do manage to find you manage to find this kind of alcove almost kind of a little, subterranean kind of area, which is where you believe her priests would be gathered to do their devotions. And make me a perception check.
I'm doing so good with that today.
No, I'm sorry. We'll call it difficulty 3. There you go.
There we go. Finally.
You smell blood.
I see here. I'm sorry.
You smell blood.
Okay. I become a little more less skulky,
Okay.
for lack of a better term. A little bit more aware.
Okay.
Look around. Hand on the hilt, but not drawn.
Okay. As you continue forward, this smell is definitely getting stronger. And the scene you come upon, there is a priestess of Urashki kneeling on the floor. Her robes are drenched in blood. Her hands are drenched in blood. She is weeping, just completely, like, gut-racking sobs. Littered around her are the bodies of about half a dozen other clerics of Urashki. They are very much dead. And you see that the one that is kneeling, she, you can hear her muttering everyone's, things along the lines of, "What have I done? I don't understand. How did this happen?" And she, as you step into the room, you make just enough of a footfall that it registers. And she looks up at you. There is already a look of horror on her face from what has happened. And because you are who you are, she immediately, there is a look of recognition that is just feeds into even more of just a complete terror and complete confusion and horror. And she looks at me and goes, "Champion!" And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Oh boy.
So that was episode 6 of Echoes of the Undying. I've kind of got some ideas for titles in my brain. Maybe we'll probably come up with something during Echoes of the episode. Speaking of which, we are going to go get out of here, take a quick break, and then come back and do our after show, which will be on YouTube tomorrow night, 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. If you like what we're doing here, sure, give us a like, give us a follow, or subscribe. Post a comment, let's get some discussion going. We would love to hear your guys' thoughts, your guys' ideas, theory crafting, whatever you guys want to do. But yeah, that's it. And so in the meantime, for Matt, Julie, Ray, Patrick, and ECAT, I am Trevor, the Vitruvian Meeple. Have a good night, everyone.